I'm Sky Lucario.
And we're going to be casting top 8 for you guys. First match, we have Chunky Kong versus Jin. That is Donkey Kong versus Aegis. And what do we know about Chunky Kong and Aegis? If you guys were watching at MomoCon, Chunky Kong had a huge upset on Cosmos, arguably the best solo Aegis in the US.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Cosmos and Jin? Jin doesn't choke.
Jin absolutely does not choke. Despite this being a really hard matchup for DK overall, the insane neutral of Mythra and just the combination of switching to Pyra really, really fast, just killing DK really early, just negating that heavyweight factor. Just Jin out here not playing around.
No, not at all. Although that is going to be the stock,
Oh my God.
and Chunky Kong takes it to begin. I'm seeing a lot of stage positioning play between these two. I know that Chunky Kong wants to get in an advantageous position, but obviously if you're playing against Mythra, you're going to have a tough time in neutral, and Chunky Kong is playing very defensive, hoping that Jin's going to jump in and make a mistake, and Jin is jumping in almost with reckless abandon.
Yeah.
Chunky Kong trying to make the most of every interaction, but now on the back foot.
Yeah, Chunky Kong has just been, just waiting like that. That's awesome against Mythra and Pyra specifically, just because, their on-shield safety isn't too amazing, but, eventually going to lose a stock right there when you're at 157.
That's the Pyra special right there, yeah. Absolutely. Now, this is obviously not a good matchup for DK. Chunky Kong may disagree. I think he has some of the most interesting takes when it comes to Donkey Kong matchups, but I digress. Aegis is not a good matchup for Donkey Kong, I think, objectively. Chunky Kong, though, I think has a lot of experience in this matchup.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's showing the prowess here, playing very patient, which is interesting because obviously you want to get advantage state as soon as possible in Donkey Kong and hold it, since that's your main strength. You have no neutral, your disadvantage is absolutely trash.
Yeah.
And so Chunky Kong playing as patient as he is really just shows that he is willing to hold out for a good opportunity.
Yeah. It's like, against Mythra like this, too, against Aegis, you have to take your opportunities. That's a death right there.
Oh my goodness, the headbutt armor. And Chunky Kong is incredible with the headbutt, by the way. Just only peppering it in every once in a while so that you're not expecting it. Incredible mix-up, and what a perfect time to use it.
Absolutely. You have to take every single opportunity you can against Aegis. You have to make all of your moves, make the most of them. And Chunky Kong making the most of that side B, getting the up smash, getting another stock lead.
Yep, and Chunky Kong now making that wall with the aerials. Oh, great switch from Jin to avoid the giant punch. Great air dodge back to stage. Jin's going to get punished for that jab, and it's going to be the ding dong, and you are dead. Who is home? Chunky Kong is, and that's going to take game 1 for Chunky.
Never mind, this matchup doesn't suck.
Chunky Kong, I think, feels a lot more comfortable in this matchup than any matchup chart would
Absolutely.
glean.
Like, having the experience against Cosmos, against Moppin as well, who, because now Chunky lives in Georgia, not Georgia, Alabama with Moppin, getting a lot of experience in this matchup.
I see. Yeah, I don't know what exactly we're looking at for game 2, but if I was Jin, the main thing I would be looking for is a stronger neutral game. You want to play on Mythra as much as you can, but not get impatient and jump into Chunky Kong's wall.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't just need to be going there on shield. You need to find more grab mix-ups, and you have that opportunity. The Chunky Kong does not have, on Donkey Kong, a lot of great out-of-shield options, and this is great. Exactly what we wanted to see. Racking up damage, 52% on Chunky Kong on the back foot. And Jin is just keeping him at disadvantage.
You just really have to not let DK play the game, because if you let DK play the game, you get like last game, and right now when you're in an awful scenario, but getting the side B back to stage.
Yep, absolutely. Chunky Kong holding stage position here. Jin trying to find footing again, and they are just swinging, trying to see who can find the first opening, because if you can get Donkey Kong in the back foot, great, fantastic, you're in a good spot. But if you're on the back foot, then Donkey Kong's got the advantage. As Pyra Mythra, you can kind of be in either position that you want to, but if you're playing Donkey Kong, there's a very specific position that you are looking for. If you're playing against Donkey Kong, same story. And that's what Jin's fishing for. Trying to make Chunky Kong make a mistake and just get one of these nice chunky, no pun intended, aerials or grounded attacks on Pyra. Oh man, that's going to be tough.
This is a really bad, that's death. Didn't have a jump.
Yeah, didn't have a jump. Didn't have the sword to use the Prominence Revolt earlier either, so that's going to be death for Jin. And although 158% in climbing on Chunky Kong, this is still as even as you can hope for.
And maybe you can kill with up smash with Mythra right now, but it might be a little close. Just going for the F smash right there, not finding it, but oh my god, I thought you died to up air.
Mythra up air, at this point, not only is it stale, but it's definitely not going to kill against a heavyweight like Donkey Kong.
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to go for an F smash read, punished with the giant punch. Actually, the F smash wasn't even punished. It was the jump that was punished with the giant punch. Jin trying to make his way out, but I mean, it's called giant punch for reasons.
Yeah, humongous move. And with the armor too, so he can't even really contest it either.
And Donkey Kong is flashing red. That's rage for you. And 77% on Jin. I mean, this was even with the stock down, but Jin's got to find something.
It's just slowly spiraling out of control for Jin. Just having that really strong earlier game, but right now just cannot find the kill.
Yeah, Chunky's playing very disciplined here, looking for solid ledge traps, but not throwing out stray aerials that can possibly be punished. Oh, no. That's unfortunate. The reverse prominence revolt is going to result in the SD for Jin. And now 197%. Okay, I was going to say the rage is going to be a little bit of an issue. I still think this is quite an uphill battle, but a full stock down on Jin. Can you make that comeback if Chunky Kong is just going to go for huge trades?
Just had to stabilize the bleeding a little bit, but seeing how Aegis is a very cheesable character. Not the best recovery, despite how amazing they are everywhere else.
Yeah, Chunky's just shuffling around, using movement, trying to keep it solid, keep it very, again, disciplined on the stage. Not afraid to go for some up Bs out of shield, some aerial up Bs out of shield, by the way. There's a lot of discussion around the Donkey Kong tech, by the way, with aerial up B out of shield and some ledge slip tech that's been coming out lately. And Chunky's showing that he's not afraid to bring out something a little bit new in this matchup, and it's especially working out. Headbutt's not going to ground on the platform because Jin jumped, but 104%. Oh, good footstool combo. Not
getting the double jump.
Get anything out of it. Both at 111%, but one full stock up for Chunky Kong means that it's going to be more trades needed, but the monkey spin grounded is just so much knockback, and it's such a good, I mentioned this earlier, it's such a good out-of-shield option, not because it comes out on early frames, but because it acts as a guard point.
Yeah.
Which in other fighting games is a very commonly used term, but in Smash you don't see very often. Guard point is something that you'll see with like Roy Blazer or Monkey Spin like you saw here. It's something that can tank the first couple of hits of an incoming move and then respond after the armor with their own move, causing some sort of massive damage and or knockback.
Absolutely.
Chunky Kong mixes it in perfectly between the aerial spins and the grounded spins to keep it fresh, using the right ones at the right times.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. And just like holding jab like that, you know you're gonna get upbeat when you just keep holding jab like that. 127, that curtain's closed. Sorry, we're going to game 3.
Yeah, I don't see any sort of stage change helping Jin out here. Chunky is just looking very confident, feeling very good in the Aegis matchup. I think that when you get the kind of win that you get on Cosmos, coming into facing any other Aegis, regardless of whether or not they're going to do better or worse, you just have that confidence that you need to play with against a character as dominating in neutral as Aegis is.
Absolutely. You know, Jin's kind of sitting right now. Might see a swap to a secondary, like Shulk or Sonic, but I feel like
Falco, I don't know Jin personally. I don't know if Jin has a Falco. What I can say is that Mage absolutely dominated Chunky Kong with Falco, and it's possible Jin thinks that Falco's easy enough to play to get that to work. However, missing that fair drag down into the up tilt kind of shows that character knowledge is important when trying to play a character, even if you're playing a character with easy combo routes like Falco. You need to have some practice.
Yeah, you got to know your stuff at least a little bit, but I mean, right now it's not looking super, super bad, but it's been this way every single other game, where Jin kind of has a decent amount of control, but eventually Chunky just runs away.
Now the big thing that, good ground. The big thing that you can struggle with as Falco if you don't have character knowledge is mixing up your recovery routes, because contrary to some belief, Falco's recovery is very linear. You have to mix it up or you're going to get dominated in disadvantage.
Yeah.
And Chunky Kong's going to exploit that for sure. Jin's just going to throw out stray aerials until he finds some sort of free opening, but I don't know if Chunky Kong's going to feel as scared of Jin as he was of Mage.
Absolutely. You know, just right there, finding the edge guard from the side B is so linear, especially after you use your double jump with really your biggest resource is Falco. and especially after fighting Mage, making the adjustments after like thinking over why you lost against Falco, but finding the dare right there, you can't think that one over.
Yeah, Jin just kind of waited that one out. Chunky went for kind of again, the linear option to recover. Falco has tons of ways to punish it, but Chunky's not going to let that go unknown.
Oh,
Great
no, you're
wait
so dead.
on the aerial to regrab, but just
missed the up air. Just barely. I mean, this is a big opportunity for Jin. You got to make the most of this because you could have died right there, but Chunky letting you live. That's what I could have done.
yeah, Jin's definitely making this Falco choice look like it was the right option, especially in your last possible game. Don't just keep banging your head against the wall trying to make a change.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have gone for a character change unless you have some Falco experience, but it's clearly working in some level. Oh, just missed the ledge drop.
Well, you know, I mean, it's much more even than the last games were. This is already much more of a competition than the last games were.
Yeah, hand slap into up air is going to take that. Chunky Kong's got these kill confirms on lock, knowing at each percent what's needed. And now it's just going to be a matter of, can you rack up more damage before dying? And no, you can't, because up tilt back air is a kill confirm.
Forever.
And it's, yeah, that's that. That's Falco for you. Chunky Kong using his invulnerability to rack up a little bit of damage. Jin's trying to play some laser game, but Chunky's not having it, just kind of playing patient side. I still have the percentage lead, even with you lasering. Onus is on you. Come in on me, and I will punish your options. I will wait out your fair and grab you out of shield.
Absolutely.
I will use the spin, the monkey spin, whatever is needed, and they're just playing a lot of dancing neutral right now. This is kind of interesting because this is a great juxtaposition of Jin versus Mage's Falco.
Yeah.
Mage played that the neutral game incredibly well, dancing very nicely, avoiding Chunky Kong while he had a percentage or stock advantage. And Jin doesn't have that right now, so he does kind of have a little bit more incentive to go in. But look at that, right there, just punish that with a grab. Chunky Kong is just going to keep doing that. Just stay on the edge, wait for Jin to jump in, go for something crazy, and then every once in a while throw in your own move, grounded or aerial, to try to keep Jin guessing. But overall, you don't have any responsibility here. That throw is going to take it at some shallow walls and small battlefield.
No screen time, just into the blast zone. You got